Good morning. I was waiting to see if the warning would jump up and say there was no audio, but it didn't do that this time. I don't know why. Anyway, um, I decided to record the video on Saturday morning for Sunday's video. I've watched the one that I did with Steve Hart, I guess 3 times already, which I very rarely watch mine more than once. But I watched the one with him, uh, as I said, about 3 times. And I wanted to make this video now while these feelings and thoughts are running so strongly through me. And I've titled this video, Why I'd Rather Die Than Lose My Home. Most of 2015, I have been fighting for my very life. I convinced the doctors in the cutting-edge Shands Hospital that I would survive the very risky surgery. I went through months of struggling for my life because I honestly felt my mission was incomplete. I finally got back to health except for the numbness in my feet, only to get hit once again with the threat of being forced from my home on which there was never a mortgage, and with an agreement with PNC Bank that if I gave them power of attorney to sell the Merritt Island property, my home would be secure. They lied. Frankly, if they win, I don't want to live on this goddamned planet any longer. Yes, I continue to ask for help. Here's the PayPal link for those willing and able to help me. That's the blurb and the title. And as I said, I've been hashing and rehashing this in my mind again and again, trying to come up with a resolution. I know lawyers are set up, generally speaking, to fight on behalf of the system. And the system is a lying system. It's a corrupt system. It's a de facto, in name only, not in reality. It violates every human right imaginable. If it could get away with it, it would violate it, and it gets away with much of it. That's the system that we live in. That's the world that I live in. I've watched friends of mine lose their homes. People that I was close to. The governor of the Florida Republic lost his home. Did he have a mortgage? Yes, he did. I don't. I've watched people die. I've watched people suffer at the hands of this criminal cabal that God allows to continue to work. I thought in 2011 that there was going to be some finality. I thought if it didn't happen in 2011, certainly it's going to happen in 2012. That God's going to finally do something to turn things around on this world and allow people to experience freedom for the first time, maybe ever, with an awakened mind, an awakened soul, where we recognized who we are and who we were created to be. And we started moving into the potentialities of what we can be. But we can never be that as long as criminals are in charge of the world. We can never accomplish it as long as lies are the dominant message that is being given. It's just not going to happen, folks. That's why I'd say I'd rather die, because my home was provided by my spiritual mother, if you will. I mean, she was like a mom to me, and she always said I was like a son to her, a son she never had. She left me this home as a mission, and I started that ministry immediately upon moving in. Less than a month after I moved in here, I began having meetings here until my daughter and her family moved in and prevented me from continuing that process. And I have fought my whole life to turn things around and to bring the kingdom of heaven to earth. And I say my whole life. I've known my whole life that I was on a divine mission. I have had that sense all of my life. I've talked about that in other videos. And Steve reminded me in before we even shot our video yesterday, he reminded me that I repeat myself a lot. Yes, because I rehash these things over and over and over and over and over again in my mind. I rehash them again and again because this is the foundation that I believe I was given to build the kingdom of heaven on earth, to help it manifest, to help wake people up, to help people realize that we're here to love one another, not to be always fighting. And I'm forced to be fighting all the time. That's so against what I want to be and what I want to do. And it's so against what I believe my true nature is. But I don't feel like I have a choice. I didn't choose the lawsuit. The damn bankers, that retired bankers, Phyllis and Eugene and Phyllis Wilhelm, especially Phyllis Wilhelm, she's the bitch that started this whole thing because she tried to convince Dr. Mary to turn her property over to them. And they left me $100 in the bequest, $100 out of a property that was valued at $1 million. You know, give me a break, folks. These thieves have put the system on me, and I have to deal with all of these corrupt lawyers and stuff like that don't tell the truth. And quite honestly, the original lawyer for PNC Bank, I actually think she's a nice person. And I've met lawyers that when I talk to them, they're not bad people. But the system sucks. The system is bad. The system is evil. When are you going to wake up, folks? Yes, I'm willing to give my life. I'm willing to die rather than be forced out of my house. I'm selling as much of the stuff, I'm turning it over to auction, as much of the stuff, as much of the furniture that's of value in my house as I possibly can. I'm getting rid of it as fast as I possibly can. Emptying it out. But I'm still going to have a lot of stuff, some of which I don't want to get rid of. But it's not really of value to anybody but me. And I've got to find a place to store it. I'd have to go through so many hoops to get another place. I'm willing to do it in time, but with the pressure of the time frame that they've given me, namely the rest of this month, you know, I am hard pressed to come up with solutions that will actually benefit me and allow me to do it in my time frame. I need at least 3 to 6 months, at least 3 to 6 months with this roof over my head to be able to open the doors or have the doors open and to make way for the doors to open that I need to go on and to continue what I would consider my ministry. I am a man of integrity, and I vowed my life, my very life, long time ago. And I've repeated that vow again and again to help bring the kingdom of heaven to earth. But my home has been part of this whole equation. This is where I've held my meetings. This is where I've done my videos. This is where I've met with friends. And I had my own friends steal the most wealthy, the most valuable pieces of jewelry from me. And she was my lover moving here. She's the only one that knew that I even had jewelry. She says, well, you had other people living there after me. Yeah, I did. They didn't know what I had. I never showed them that. They didn't know where to look, and my room was locked. I had a lock on my bedroom door. I never left my bedroom unlocked for them to even have access to this end of the house. This end of the house was not to be violated. But anyway, you can tell I'm frustrated, and I wanted to make this video with these feelings running high because it wouldn't come out the same if I waited till tomorrow. So I thank you for listening, and I hope some of you understand what I'm going through and the pressure that I'm under. And thank you for listening. Namaste.